Hello, this is Jeff Al Gilbert. Welcome to my live call tonight. And it's with a question: do your prospects have product confusion? Are we confusing them? I'll talk about that. And for those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing for 40 years. Yes, if you have to work, there's no place like home. I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business. In the last almost 28 years now, I've been full-time in network marketing. So I'm just going to acknowledge some great people showing up. And John Perez in Miami, nice to see you. Eden in Colorado, how you doing, Eden? What's happening with you, girl? Good to see you. And let's see, Daniette in Michigan, good to see you. Rocio, good to see you. In California, how are you? It's been, we had a strong rain out there. I got misty clouds going by my place, you know, outside there. You can still see the outline of the mountains. That's why they call it the Smoky Mountains, because after a rain, you know, we just have all these mists that just rise from the pockets of the mountains. Georgia and New York City, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you too, Eden. And also we have Lisa from Florida. How you doing, Lisa? I hope you're doing well. And Colwinder, I believe Canada, right? Isn't that right? I believe so. Could be wrong on that though. Yeah, it's sometimes I forget where everybody's from. Even the familiar faces, and sometimes you guys move around. What can I say? Not too many people are traveling right now. That's for sure. Yeah, and yeah, I love the Smokies too, Lisa. It's great. Just wonderful place. A lot of wildlife here, and just the feel of the mountains is awesome. Miriam in Puerto Rico, good to see you. Jenny in North Carolina, good to see you. Jenny, hope you're doing well. And Mario in Houston, Texas. Diane in the Philippines. You're the furthest one out so far, Diane. How are you doing? Are you still in a quarantine situation? Don't know what part of the Philippines you're in, but I hope you're doing okay. So, tonight, this comes up, it's actually a common problem we see in network marketing, where we have great prospects, actually, people that would be interested in joining you, joining your business, even using your prospects, but they suffer from product confusion. And mostly that comes from ourselves. We do that because no doubt, many of you are very, very enthusiastic about your products. You believe in your products very strongly, or you wouldn't be doing what you're doing, right? And so, but what we're going to talk about tonight is 3 areas how we can fix this problem. How do you know if you got a problem? Well, let me give you an example. How many of you have ever sent somebody a link to your page? Page means that's your page, that's the company website. But if somebody buys or joins, you get the credit, right? That's your page. But you send the link and then you go to your back office later only to find out they didn't buy, they didn't join. You're thinking, oh man, what's happening? Well, let's talk about what's happening. There could be a number of things that's happening. The one thing that we don't want to believe or assume is that they're not interested. That's usually what we think. We always think, oh, they're not interested. Man, I thought they sounded so good on the phone or when I talked to them, and you know what happened? And you're just waiting. You look at it the next day and the next day, and they still haven't, purchased or joined. So the thing about it is, it reminds me of, just the situation of what we call overwhelm. If your company carries, I don't know, let's say more than 20 products, and you send somebody to your, to your page by virtue of your link, and they're at the company website, of which you get credit for, right? But they don't know what to buy. They really don't know, or they don't know where it's at in the website. So that can create a lot of confusion when we do something like that. And I know some companies might carry 50 or more products. Can you imagine, trying to go through that, look at the products, trying to figure out, what do I need? What do I want? Or do I want any of this? What is this about? And it takes what? Time. And people are very possessive of their time. They rather give it to watching something on TV or just spending time in Facebook or whatever they like to do, but they don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what your product line is about. So that's, I remember one leader saying she was talking to a top leader in another company, and she showed her on her phone her product line, and the woman looked at it and said, that's too many products. Well, I get what she's saying, that it's easy to create product confusion, but think about this. Does Amazon have too many products? Do you know how many products Amazon actually carries? I didn't know. I decided to check it out, and I found out it was 12 million. 12 million products! Could you imagine trying to navigate through that? Crazy, right? And how do they do it? How do they navigate? They do it with a simple question. Have you ever noticed that when you went to Amazon? When you first get there at the very top, they're asking you a question. What is it you are looking for? What is it you are looking for? Or what are you looking for? So what are you looking for? Now, if we could learn something from that when it comes to product confusion, and that is, we need to get familiar with our prospect and find out what they're looking for. Or hey, if you got a hot product, you might be able to say, well, maybe you're looking for something like this, I don't know, or you find value in this. But you first off, you have to get them to receptive to your product. What value does your product give? What problem does it fix? Most products are created to fix problems. So what problem does it fix? What does it do that would give that person comfort, pleasure, some sense of security, or just fixes something? So that's something we have to look at. Now, if you don't know what to promote, here's what you need to do. Go to your company or your upline and find out what are your top 5 or 10 products in your line. But I'll tell you this, find out what is the number 1 and 2 seller, because that's what's driving your company sales. In other words, that is what's appealing to the masses out there. So you need to know what those products are. And if you want to build a serious business in network marketing, you need to get behind if you say, well, we carry toothpaste too, Jeff. No, toothpaste is not going to be your lead product, okay? It's just not. it's not going to, I'll get to the toothpaste later, okay? But believe me, it has great value. But I'm going to tell you, that's not what's driving your company. And if you want to drive your business, it can't be toothpaste. You got to find out what your top sellers are. I called up my company today to ask them. I want to get briefed again. What is our top 10? So you need to do that, because that's very important in solving what? Product confusion. Because you don't want to send the person to the website and look at 75 products, try to figure it out, and then you're going to your back office and there's no order, they didn't join. No, what is driving it? Okay, and that's going to be your basic, this may appeal to you approach when you talk to that person, because it's appealing to many people out there. That's the reason why your company is in business. That's why it's doing so well. So get behind that lead product. Figure out what it is, that product, why it's so hot, and then learn some basic things about it. Learn some, don't get into the science of it. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm just saying, if you could tell me just in a paragraph or in 15 seconds why that product is so great, what would you say? Why don't you work on that tonight and write it down? And then you need to get good at it so that when someone asks you, it just comes out naturally right out of your mouth. So again, knowing that helps you to avoid product confusion, and that gets us on the right track. But there's other things that you can do too. For example, if your company provides an app, in the app are PDFs, there are videos, there are links. If they have it where there's a system where your lead products can be promoted through that app, for example, you would send me a link, and then so when I click on that link, I'm not looking at 75 products in your website. It's taking me specifically to that product that you talked about. And then and that is tied to a shopping cart, by the way, so that I can go ahead. There might be a video in there about that product. I know Nu Skin does that. There can be a PDF read in there about that product, and a shopping cart where I can go ahead and make my purchase. But I went ahead and got some really quick education, not a college education, a 2-minute education, a video about why that product's so great. Why are these people smiling? Why are they all so happy? I'm so miserable. Why are they so happy, right? So there's something in there. So get familiar with that. If your company has an app, do you use it? Are you familiar with it? Now, let's say that it's not tied to a shopping cart and your company has an app, but it's not that sophisticated. Hopefully they'll improve. But what you can do then is send somebody a link to, maybe it's a short video on that product, and then a link to your page. And in the search bar, all they got to do is type in the name of the product. I know it's a little archaic, but that's better than taking somebody and throwing them in the ocean and say swim. It's a much better approach. So try that. I remember the days when, this is 21 years ago, when my last company, that when I talked to someone and we had a hotline for the product, that they could just listen about the product, why it was so great and wonderful. And I filled out the application right there while they were on the phone, got the credit card information, faxed it to the company, and boom, it was there. That was how we did it 21 years ago. But hey, in my third month, we did $25,000 that month, in my third month. But the thing is, it's got to be a simple system. That's the thing that you want. You want to work on. You want to work on that. Matter of fact, I mean, now here's the second. Way we can avoid product confusion, and that is that once you have that customer and that leader on board, they have joined you, and just because they've joined you doesn't mean they're in your business yet. You still got to work on that. So if you remember when I talked about the 3-7-30 onboarding training, that the 7 meant the first 7 days, that by that time they got their product, and you want to get them involved in that product. You want to spend some time educating them about your product. Make sure that they understand. It's easy to forget. I mean, how many of you, out of courtesy, a favor to someone, got on auto ship for a product that a month after you got on auto ship, you don't even remember what it was for? And then next thing you know, you got 4 bottles sitting on your pantry shelf saying, why am I buying this? There's a good point there. Number one, you're not taking it because you forgot the reason why. And second, you don't know really what the product's all about. So that's very important, and that's the reason why you need to always add people to your Facebook product group so that that's reinforced, the value of your product. It's constantly reinforced where that you build faith in your product. Most important, especially if you want to keep these people around. But here's the thing that we don't want to do, and this is how to avoid product confusion. Don't overwhelm people with too much information when they join. I see this all the time. People want to know the science of the product. The science of the product, how the product works, and things like that. They want to attend this doctor's training, that doctor's training. And some people just get jazzed, sounding intellectual to others. It buffs their ego just to talk about these things. Let me tell you, that's dangerous. Because I remember a meeting back in 1995, a leader did. And it was a leader in my downline. She said, I had somebody come up to me after the meeting and said, that was an incredible product presentation. Incredible product presentation you did. I could never do something like that. And she went away thinking about that. Wow, that's bad. I could never do something like that. So I'm doing things people can't do. It's sort of like eating food. You know how much food? This is another statistic I had to check out. How much food do you eat in a lifetime? Well, I found out it was 35 tons. 35 tons! No wonder there's so many weight loss programs out there, right? Anyway, 35 tons of food that a person eats in a lifetime, all right? Now just imagine this. You see this dump truck pulling up in your driveway, all full of food, and it dumps out 35 tons of food and says, have at it. Eat up. Bon appetit. Eat up. But that's what a lot of people do in network marketing with people. Too much information about the product. Now I'm going to tell you, that's why I never went to those trainings. Once I understood the most important things, and I could get it down to a 15-second comment or one paragraph, that's about as much as I wanted to know. And then it's going to be a thing that, some people will look at a product, they'll look at this and they'll say, And then they'll give you a scientific lecture about how scientific this product is, how wonderful this product is. And then you see another guy looks at it and says, yeah, it makes me feel better. Let me ask you, which sells? Yeah, you know what sells. And that's what people want to know, how they're going to feel. How are they going to feel about themselves? What problem does it fix? So we don't want to do an information dump load on people when they join us, but it happens all the time. So again, to educate people about this, we simply want them to know the basics. Just know the basics, and that's it. And once we say things that people can easily repeat, it's duplicatable, you're going to see that your team's going to grow much better. Far, far much better. So here's the third thing to help us with product confusion. So does that mean then we don't want them to know, for example, if you have 75 products or 50 or whatever you got, and you want to focus on your lead products that's driving your business, does that mean that we don't want them to know anything about the other products in your line? No, of course not. Now, I go back to, again, the 1990s. Back then I was in a company, we had a weight loss product and a cleansing tea. That was what was driving our sales. On the other hand, we had 50 products on the back end that were herbal-based products that were formulated for different situations in the area of health. So we had a directory guide. So instead of having to learn all that stuff, all they had to do was just look at the directory guide and it would direct them to the product that they needed. So it was like this. Well, these are the two products that are driving our business, and this is what we focus on. Now, we do carry some other products, and this is a directory guide. You could use that for any of your questions and any of your needs. All you have to do is just look at the guide, look it up, and it'll direct you to the right product. And that was it. We kept it very simple. So instead of giving these long lectures about body systems and, all this stuff, like heart health, kidney health, liver health, it's endless. We just had a guide. Oh yeah, here's a guide that'll answer your questions for any of your health needs. It'll direct you to the right product. Just look at the guide. And that was it. And I'll tell you what, duplication was massive in my team back in those days because we kept it that simple. We didn't play doctor. So again, why is that important as far as that helps with product confusion? Why it's important to your business, it just depends on how long you want to be in business. I mean, I've been in network marketing 40 years. I've been full-time for almost 28 years living off residual income. If that appeals to you, then you'll understand that over a period of time, you're going to want to expose your people to other products in your company. It'll make a big difference. Remember this concept, okay? Remember this concept. Buy from yourself. Buy from yourself. What do I mean by that? Do any of you buy toothpaste out there? Hey, we're back to the toothpaste. I said we were going to come here. Do any of you buy hair products? Do any of you buy cleaning products or mouthwash? Whatever. The list can go on. The questions can be endless. Things that you are already buying. And how many people are in your team, just like you, products that you're already buying that your company already has? What's the difference between you go down to Walgreens or the grocery store versus you buying from yourself? Well, if you go to Walgreens in the grocery store, you don't get paid on that purchase. You'll never get paid on that purchase. You'll never get a discount on that purchase. And you're also teaching your team to go to Walgreens and go to the grocery store. But are you an example of buying from yourself? So if your company has toothpaste Why are you not buying their toothpaste? Some might think, well, it's no big deal. It's only $12 a tube, Jeff. I mean, it's 12 bucks. Well, again, how long do you plan on being in this business? If you want to grow a team, let's say to 100,000, mine's over 700,000, okay? But let's say 100,000. 100,000. Let's say your toothpaste is $12, right? So you got 100,000 people spending $12 a month just on toothpaste. That's over what, 1,200,000? What about other products that they carry? Like I said, it could be for the hair, it could be body wash, it could be shampoo, it could be conditioner, it could be mouthwash, it could be this, it could be that. Think about it. If the requirement is $100, I'm just throwing that figure out, $100 to get paid on your commissions to maintain an auto ship, but you created a thriving product culture where you find that the average is really double that, it's really double that, what is that going to do to your income? I can tell you because that's the way it's affected me for all these years. And I'm really shocked about it. I really am. Because toothpaste becomes incredibly important. Think about it. How long do you want to be in this? And as you grow your team and you teach them these things, they're buying this, they're buying that. They're becoming raving fanatics for different products that are not lead products. They're back-end products. Again, no confusion, because if you have the kind of support in your company and over a period, again, you're not going to do the information dump load. 35 tons of information, no, I'm not going to do that. But over a period of time, they're going to get exposed to other products that you, by example, and you promote. And you can do that. You can share that in a Facebook group. You can say, hey, you know what? I just started using this product and I love it. I don't know why I wasn't using this before. And then people are like, what? Why am I not using it either? What's happening? Tell me about it. And you're on video explaining it. Yes, over a period of time, over a period of months and years, let me tell you something. It becomes millions and millions of dollars that you can get paid on. Now, and that's the reason why. If a company only has a few products, they got a driving product, it'll only drive for a while. And then it's going to plateau and it might go into decline, okay? Then what are you going to do? What will you do? Interesting thing back in the 90s is, I mentioned that weight loss product, that cleansing tea, that was our driving product. And then we had like 75 products on the back end. Years later, not too many, just a few years later, most of our volume was coming from the back end. It really was. And you'll find that to be true in your company. That people might join you, they attract to a certain product, but at the end of the day, they're going to find, hopefully, if your company has that, enough products on the back end that they're going to also fall in love with. I mean, think about it. How many, if like me in the 90s, if you had a weight loss product, how many people are going to stay on a weight loss program, right? They don't stay on it too long, do they? How are you going to keep them? How are you going to get them back? It's going to be those other products that you have. Those become, and then later on they can get back on your weight loss product. But I'm just saying, those back-end products become so important. And again, instead of spending a lot of time educating, it's gradual. Just like the 35 tons of food that we're going to eat in a lifetime, we don't eat it all at once, but we do eat it. One bite at a time through a lifetime, right? And it's the same thing, that you'll train people, you'll introduce people to your team, to other products, give them just simple things that you like about it, maybe some facts, things like that. And that's really all you have to do. So here's the thing that, let's summarize, okay? Let's summarize on this. So number one, don't send them to your website to find your product or to look at your products. Be specific. Know which which products are driving your company, driving your sales, and focus on those products. And if possible, send them a link specific to that product with the shopping cart so that they can buy it right there and check right out. That's the ideal thing. If you can't do the ideal thing, then give them the name of the product so they don't have to just look at all your products, and then they can go in that search bar and buy it right away from your page. And then number two, don't overwhelm them with a lot of information. That they will not want to duplicate that. I mean, they may be entertained by what you say and by your enthusiasm, but they're not going to do the business. And then gradually, number three, introduce them by things that you post in your Facebook group or in a newsletter, however you do it, to other products in your line so that they become addicted and raving fans of other products that you have. That's the thing. If we don't create product confusion, people will want to join you and they'll want to duplicate and build a team. I know, I've done it many times. So, and my last time was 21 years ago. So I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, you can share it to your team. By the way, if you haven't read my book, Reaching the Peak, it's on Amazon. Get it if you haven't read it, and also have it in Spanish now. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm glad we got together this evening. Look forward to doing it again tomorrow night. Really do. Thanks for joining me, guys and girls. Love all of you. Take care.